the fog hovering over the water on the coast, thick and dark like chimney smoke. The town hadn't seen the horizon in days. The gloom wraps the small fishing town of Stormhaven like a cold, damp blanket. I can't shake the feeling that something ominous is in the air. It's late, and the town is quiet as waves crash against the rocky shore. I'm about to turn back when I hear it. A soft, melodic voice carried on the wind. I stop, straining to listen. The voice is beautiful and haunting, like nothing I've ever heard. My feet move on their own accord, taking me closer to the water's edge. I see her poised on the edge of a fishing boat anchored near the shore. A woman? No, not exactly a woman. Her cascading curls twinkles in the dim light, but below the waist, she has a shimmering tail of the sea, the scales catching the faint light of the moon. A siren? Is she real? I freeze, staring at her, my heart pounding in my chest, not sure if I should be excited or afraid. Could it be that the stories my grandmother used to tell, the tales of sea creatures and lost sailors, were all true? The siren's eyes meet mine and she beckons me closer with a wave. I step forward, the frigid seawater soaking my boots as I wade into the surf. Her voice fills my mind, soft and urgent.
You who walks the shores,
She whispers, her voice resonating with the sound of the waves.
descendant of the ancient pact.
An ancient pact? I ask. What do you mean?
Long ago, your ancestors forged an alliance with my people, the merfolk, to protect this land from the wrath of the ancient sea god, Varagon. They swore an oath to protect these shores from pollution and overfishing, which could endanger our habitat and indeed our very existence. They were to be the stewards of the balance between the land and the sea among these parts.
I had heard stories and legends passed down through the generations, but I never believed they were more than entertainment. Yet here is a living, breathing part of that history.
In return,
She continued.
we gifted them the knowledge and weapons to defend against Varagon's fury. Now the ancient god believes the vow has been broken.
My breath catches as her words sink in. An alliance? Ancient gods?
You must heed my warning. The sea is restless.
She says,
Varagon is angry about the neglect through the centuries. Unless you act, he is preparing to send his creatures to destroy this town. But he won't stop there. He means to reclaim all the lands. You must be ready for when they come. The ancient weapons are still hidden in the abandoned lighthouse. Only they can protect you. You must gather your townsfolk and hurry, or all will be lost.
She eases off the boat, saying,
Remember this song. It will seal Varagon's power from your realm.
Over and over she sings a haunting melody.
By ancient bond and ocean's might, I bind thee now to endless night.
She sinks down into the water until she disappears beneath the waves. It feels like forever as I'm still standing in the freezing water, my mind racing. I know the lighthouse, an old derelict structure at the edge of town. After the new lighthouse was built, it was forgotten by most except as a drinking hangout for a few of the town's teens. I snap out of my stupor and sprint back to the town, the wind whipping at my face. I hurry to the fisherman's hall on the docks. My heart is pounding as I burst through the heavy wooden door. Inside, the warm, musty air is thick with the scent of salt and old wood, and the murmur of worried voices suddenly stops as I enter, and everyone turns to stare at me. The townsfolk are gathered around the long, worn table, their faces etched with concern. Sitting at the head, the mayor raises an eyebrow as I stumble in, breathless and wild-eyed. "You have to listen," I shout, my voice echoing off the wooden beams above. "The mermaid, she warned me. The sea god is waking. His name is Varagon, and he will destroy us all unless we act now." The room falls silent. The only sound is the faint crash of waves and the creak of moored boats drifting in from the docks outside. Then, the room erupts in laughter. Put that way, I guess I kind of sound like a crazy person. "Listen," I say. "I know it sounds insane, but this is very real. A mermaid told me, just now down by the beach." More silence. Then, more laughter. "You have to listen," I say. "The mermaid, she came to warn us. The sea god is waking up and he's going to send his creatures to destroy us. We need to get the weapons from the lighthouse." They look at me like I've lost my mind.
A mermaid?
The mayor says, sounding deflated.
Thanks for the comic relief, I guess we needed that. But we're discussing serious business here. We've got real problems to deal with, like shoring up the town against these odd weather patterns we've been having.
"This is real," I insist, desperation in my voice. "We have to act now, or it'll be too late." The mayor shakes his head, dismissing me with a wave. But Captain O'Malley, the keeper at the new lighthouse, rises from his seat at the table and steps forward, his weathered face serious.
"I believe you, lad,"
He says,
"My father told me about those weapons. I know where they are. Come on, let's go."
Captain O'Malley and I rush through toward the lighthouse at the end of the docks. It stands tall and dark against the night sky, a forgotten sentinel watching over the sea. Inside, the air is thick with dust and memories. The weapons are hidden under a heavy trapdoor on the concrete floor, buried beneath stacks of crates and boxes. The long-forgotten ancient weapons felt cold and surprisingly light in our hands. Grabbing the bulk of the artillery, as much as we can carry, we head to the shore just as the sea begins to bubble and boil. The wind swirls around us, and the earth trembles violently. The water churns as dark shapes surface. Twisted, monstrous forms with glowing eyes emerge from the water, sloshing their way toward the shore. I hear the townsfolk's chaotic approach, running and shouting, but I focus on the sea. A quick glance shows that their earlier disbelief is replaced by fear. "Take the weapons!" I shout, handing them out. They hesitate. Then, seeing the creatures advancing, they follow our lead. The battle is a blur of chaos as it rages on through the night. The ancient weapons buzz with energy, cutting through the sea god's minions. My heart races as I fight, the cold wind biting my skin. The creatures are relentless, but we push them back, deeper and deeper into the water, the weapons glowing with a power that feels alive. The siren's words echo in my mind as the battle presses on. And I remember the song, a way to seal the sea god's power. The rhythm comes to me instinctively, as if some unseen force is reaching inside me and pulling it out of me. I begin to hum. Then I'm chanting the words. "By ancient bond and ocean's might, I bind thee now to endless night." Louder and louder, I chant as my voice rises above the roar of the battle and the storm. The creatures falter from our line of defense, our weapons, and my song. Their forms start to dissolve into mist, and the storm starts to subside. The sea calms as the last of the minions vanish into the depths. Exhausted, I stare out at the water. The fog has finally lifted. I savor the first light of dawn spilling over the horizon, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink, more vibrant than I've ever seen. The town is battered but still standing. We will rebuild, and we will make sure that the ancient pact will continue to be honored for generations to come.